Hello viewers, you are welcome to this edition of Graphic Sports Interview Sport with our legends. And today we have in our midst in the studio one of the nation's legends, a former Ghanaian international who played for the senior national team, the Black Stars. He captained the Black Stars. He went on to become an administrative officer at CAF, that is Africa's highest football controlling body in Cairo, and he was the Deputy General Secretary of CAF for 4 years. During that period, he was also the FIFA General Coordinator for matches, including the World Cup final. I'm talking about no other person than Anthony Baffoe. Welcome, Tony.
Thank you very much.
How is everything?
I can't complain. We give thanks and praises every day to the Most High.
We thank God. Your resignation from your position at CAF came as a surprise to us in June this year. Since then, what have you been doing to yourself?
Well, my resignation, I already handed it over in March, because you always have to give a 3 months notice. So when the new General Secretary, Mr. Veron, came, I spoke with him. He told me to think about it, but you know, I had enough of time to think about my next steps, and I didn't leave with any anger. I left in peace with still a very good relationship intact. Veron, the General Secretary, gave me huge respect, same like President Motsepe. And but for me, there's nothing more important than my family, and I missed my country too. So like I said, I'm emphasizing I left in peace with a very good relationship with the Confederation of African Football. I'm grateful to Allah to have lifted me to I think a very important position, which was the Deputy General Secretary in charge of football and development. There was no former player before who had a position like that, and once again, I'm grateful. I'm also grateful to the former President Armah, because he brought me, and the new leadership is there, the relationship is intact, and I'm still serving Ghana football / African football.
As a way of probing further to find out whether there was any undercurrent as to why you decided to move on. Because it came as a surprise to most Ghanaians.
But not to me.
Okay.
I had time to think, and my family was in Ghana. I was in Egypt. I'm a son of a diplomat, and the mission of a diplomat is 4 years. And I took it like that, and I said it. There's nothing more important than my family. And traveling around, being away from the family, I don't think is healthy for a family life. I have grown children, 25, 23, they're in university. I have a daughter which is 13, so I take her to school normally every morning, and now it's one of my greatest pleasures to do that. You know, you all know my wife, Kalsum, so I've missed them, and I'm still involved in football. Don't forget, I'm the founder of the Professional Football Association of Ghana, and also the General Secretary. So there's a lot of work in football to be done. I'm already working on certain projects in terms of consultancy, and I don't want any fixed position in an organization. What I do is I work in advisory roles and re-professionalizing with my colleagues, the PFAG, the Professional Football Association of Ghana.
Okay, before this interview, you just mentioned that to me behind the scenes that you are still active in football. What other roles are you playing, if you be specific, apart from PFAG?
Well, I also, there's this big talent development program of FIFA, and I'm one of the experts, stroke consultants, and different projects as well. I don't blow my horn You know, I work behind the scenes, and I don't need to disclose everything I'm doing. And you mentioned in the beginning FIFA General Coordinator. I did that already before I came to CAF. I started this in 2008, 9, 10, until 2018. But now I prefer grooming the younger ones, unless there's an emergency situation. But I prefer letting the younger ones doing the role as a general coordinator. And with my experience, I think I can help and support and shaping the new and upcoming ones.
Ghanaians were so proud to see you always coordinating FIFA, such high-profile FIFA matches. Mm-hmm. Can you let us in on how you got that job?
Well, you see, 2006, I was the team coordinator, international relations director also of the FA. That was our first World Cup in 2006 in a country where I was born, Germany. For the country where I'm from. Okay. And already there, the FIFA people saw me and they told me, you have to work with us in our events. Then 2008, I was one of the pillars in the AFCON here, working for the LOC. And I learned again, and that's where CAF also saw me. And this is how everything started. Whilst I was in Germany, you know, I was doing a lot of TV. I was one of the first blacks to host on national TV. And I used to organize a lot of events with former players and actors, musicians. And when Schumacher, the Formula One pilot, he used to play Schumacher and Friends whenever I used to come to Hockenheim. It's not so far from Frankfurt. And I will organize most of the celebrities, and then we will play those matches. So being a general coordinator, a lot of people always say match coordinator. Now, a match coordinator is when you do an interclub, a Champions League match, because it's a one-off match. But a general coordinator stays at the venue for, let me say, 4 to 5 weeks. He's in charge of the entire venue administration, and he is FIFA or CAF highest representative at the venue. You have security, you have media, you have hospitality, you have infotainment, you have waste management, you have so many different positions you have to take care of. And then the LOC also, you are the leader of the group at the venue. If anything goes wrong, for instance, you have a failure with the audio, the national anthem are not working, you have to know how to react. And you always need to have a backup plan. For instance, a general coordinator must be at the venue 6 hours prior to the match. In case he has forgotten anything or there's a problem, he can always maybe go back and solve the problem. It's a very, very important position. They are good and bad general coordinators. And I happen to be one of the elites because I've done almost every finals. Yeah.
Are you still doing that job?
No. You see, in the position I was recruiting the GCs, and like I said early on, if there's really an emergency and they need an experienced guy, okay. But for now, I would like to help and support the young ones who are coming up.
I know some young upcoming Ghanaians are also doing this same job in CAF competitions.
Oh yeah, they are.
You have a hand in recruiting some of them. Like Mr. Les Asante,
Frederick Achampong, Mercado. Yeah. You know, well, everything was under me, and but I don't recruit just for recruiting's sake. If we see somebody has a talent, together with the team I had, Samson Adamu, who was like a right-hand man of mine. I recruited him as a competition director, and the other CAF colleagues. Of course, I listen to what they have to tell me as well, because I've been down there. I can see if somebody is a good general coordinator or he's not up to the task, if after 2, 3, 4 matches he's not improving, I said, next one, please. So this is how it is, because this is not a job for friends, you know, because it comes with a lot of responsibility, you know. So, but it's a fantastic thing to be part of an event. And for me, as a former player, like taking the AFCON, I played on the pitch, and then off the pitch as a GC, I know exactly how a player thinks in certain moments. And you see, I used to be with Neymar and Messi in the tunnel. And in the tunnel, I was the boss. Because I decide when they have to go out. But on the pitch, they are the boss. Same like the referee. When he whistles, he's in charge. Yeah. But before that, I am in charge. You see, so it gave me also the opportunity to be very close to the game. Yeah. You know, when you have stopped the game, people ask me, you still miss being on the pitch? I said, nature, you can't control nature. Yeah. You understand? I still walk out, I still run, but more in slow motion now. you understand? But that gave you the opportunity to be in the dressing room, to sense what is going on in the locker room, in the tunnel, before going out, have those butterflies in the stomach. A wonderful job, you know, and which comes once again with a lot of responsibility. But once again, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for my journey so far, because one of my phrases was always that there's no elevator to success. You have to take the stairs. So we keep on climbing the stairs.
What are the moments, the exciting moments, or the wonderful moments you will still relish until when you were served at CAF?
But you know, I was doing all the draws from AFCON to under 20 women's AFCON draw. I was mostly in charge of the AFCONs. And yeah, everything regarding football. And being in such a decisive position sometimes gave me goosebumps, but also sleepless nights, because we walk around the clock. And like when you have the Champions League matches, you play Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you know, you always have to be on standby. Yeah. We had a match command center at CAF. That was also a novelty, whereby we could watch 8 matches simultaneously. And we could see what is going on in the other venues. All in all, summa summarum, I don't regret my time. I learned a lot, and it was a fantastic time, of course, with ups and downs, but you move on. You learn, you know, you learn the hard way. Yeah. And what I learned, I give it to those who are coming up. So it was great serving the Confederation, the African Confederation, for my motherland, Ghana. Yeah.
Ghanaians back home were always proud to see you on telly, organizing events and the draw and working things around to make sure that things happen at CAF and CAF competitions. If I may ask, in every human endeavor there are challenges. You mentioned some of them. Is there any particular thing that you say that I regret? I wish if I had a second time, I would not repeat it?
No, regret, no, because you learn from it. When you repeat the same mistakes 3, 4, 5 times, that means you haven't learned, you know. I also had to learn how to deal with politics.
It's coming to that.
You see, and my heart is African, but my work ethics are German. So I am someone, it's what you see is what you get. When you are in a leading position like a president, definitely I will not go against you with disrespect. But maybe after a meeting or in a meeting, I'll tell you how I think. And after a meeting, I'll also knock on your door to continue the discussion. And this, I believe, is important, because you need to apply wisdom you see. But I will never move from my point of view if I don't think or if I'm not convinced. You see, at the end of the day, I'm part of the organization. Once a decision has been taken by the highest body, you cannot go out and say you're against it. This will be wrong and ethically not right.
Talking about German ethics, I'm interested in that one. You said your heart is an African, but your work ethics is German. I've heard this thing again and again, and I think that is working for them, especially in the administration of their football. What do you think we can borrow from the German work ethics and their system?
You know, Ghana, Germany, there's always been a very good relationship.
Yeah.
You know, the Chamber of Commerce, diplomatically, also back in the days, in terms of development, we had a lot of coaches, Otto Pfister, Burkhard Caesar, they were here. And for me, 9 o'clock is 9 o'clock. It is not 9-1 or 9-2. And people who work with me know this. I can work with people I don't get along with. But as long as the person is competent,
giving you the results you want, cool.
No problem. It doesn't mean after work I'll go and have dinner with him, because we are not friends. We are colleagues. It's the same way in a team. You don't see the whole team going for dinner. Sometimes after a match, yes, but you always have groups, you know, who, the same you
Get
here,
along,
graphics as well.
You
know, and for me, I can differentiate that very, very well. And I've learned also to take unpopular decisions. I don't care what you think about me. You see, if I think this is the right decision to take for the institution I'm working for, and maybe I'm your friend, if you take it personal, like the Nigerian says, your own wahala. You see, but for me, I call it professional. So, and you see, when you see a high wall, somebody will come and say, you can never jump or climb this wall. And I'll tell him, maybe not today, maybe not the day after, but the day after tomorrow, I'll get there. You see, I've also learned to build legacies and to create sustainability. This is something which is very important when you work in development. You know, like Shakespeare said, go slowly and wisely. Those who rush will stumble and fall. That's why I refer to there's no elevator to success. An elevator goes up fast and comes down fast. But when you take the staircases, you go up and you're looking down because you know where you're coming from and you know where you're climbing to. And like I say, God's time is always the best. And I believe in those principles. This is what I teach my kids as well. And have character. Even when you're a journalist and people say you're like this or that, but if you think this is the right way, don't allow people to push you to the one way. You see, you should have mentors. My mentor, one of my mentors is Windsor John. He's the General Secretary of the Asian Confederation. In terms of GCIN, he really advised me a lot. And also like people like Dr. Ivan Koza, who is in South Africa. And my father, my late father-in-law, and my late father, they were also role models and mentors to me, because they always kept calm and advised me at the right time.
Before you got the CAF job in November 2017, if I'm right, you seem to be so involved in the PFAG, as Professional Football Association of Ghana project, and you are making some inroads, and still you are still doing well. Your appointment to CAF came as a surprise, just as your resignation. What led to that appointment, or who influenced that appointment? How did you get to CAF?
Well, it took me between 6 and 8 months to say yes. At that time, President Kwesi Nyantakyi always called me. I have a message for you from Mr. Ahmad, whom I knew or got to know when he was on the disciplinary committee of FIFA, and we had the Under-20 World Cup in Colombia. And we sometimes used to break our fast together, and maybe he looked at me. I believe President Kwesi also told him a few things about my work ethics, and he always used to tell me, this man is like a German machine. And I didn't want to make the move because I didn't want to leave Ghana and leave my family, because CAF headquarters were in Cairo. So later also, people like Samuel Eto'o spoke to me, Marcel Desailly, Abidi Pele, who up till today is a brother, somebody I look up to. And they were also telling me, you're doing it not only for Ghana, you're doing it for Africa and also for us, the footballers. So think about it, you know. And I started thinking about it, but like I told you, I don't take any decision without my family. I sit down with my wife and my kids. I explain the situation to them. And my wife, my kids, for my daughter it was very hard, of course for my boys as well. But we just said, give it a try. I'll be going back and forth, but you know, the job sometimes, it was not so easy. Sometimes you will not see the family 2 or 3 months. During the pandemic, I didn't see the family like more than 5 months because I could not travel.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm no more 22. I'm 56 years. So family is very important to have that environment. You know, So it was a gradual thing, and nobody knew as well. I'm not somebody, like I told you, who speaks about these things. They only got to know the day in Morocco after the executive committee meeting, and they announced the appointments. So that was in November 2017. And once again, I never regretted it.
Viewers, we are privileged to have one of Ghana's legends, as I said earlier on, and a former Black Stars captain. In fact, he was the captain of the Black Stars during Ghana's AFCON final with Côte d'Ivoire in Senegal. We'll come to that story in a short while. But before then, we want to go back to Tony and ask him how he got invited into the Black Stars, and how was the feeling the first time he received the invitation. How did it happen?
You know, Black Stars, I will never want to miss that time, because
it was Bukar Caesar's time.
It was Bukar Caesar and Otto Pfister's time.
Okay.
Bukar Caesar before, but it started differently. You know, Nanayo Amani, Richard Now, Ali Ibrahim, Abladekuma Sabato.
Yeah.
I was staying with my uncle, Uncle Andy, in Cologne. And this was the time when more and more players were looking for the exodus and had offers since the 91 group, the Odate Lamte, Sami Kufos,
yes,
etc. Alex Opoku did very, very well, and looking more and more for Ghanaian players.
You were then playing for FC Cologne?
No. At that time, I was not playing for FC Cologne. I was playing for Fortuna Düsseldorf. I started with FC Cologne.
Okay.
You know, with the likes of Tony Schumacher, Ledbarski, Klaus Allofs,
right,
etc. And whilst we were chopping our kinky, and I always tell Sabato and Richard, now you owe me my kinky because you stole my kinky. To be honest, at the time, it was not like today. international match days, etc. You could not, your club had to be willing to release you. You see, now it's mandatory. There's a time for all these matches, but then it was not like that. And whilst we were chopping our kinke, the guy said, Tony, when are you coming to play? And I told them that when the time is right, I will come. And then Bocat Caesar also came to Cologne, because I was staying in Cologne, but always going from Cologne to Düsseldorf. He said he wants me to play for the national team. And then I told him, may his soul rest in peace, because he passed on. The boys have already convinced me, but I just need to find the right timing. So this is how it happened, and on the 13th January 1991, I played my first match against Benin. But before then, I arrived, I still remember the headline. Anthony Baffoe arrived, special bed for him.
That was a graphic sports headline.
Yes, and they showed me in Ajeteli, the tallest and the shortest. And there was Sami Ajay also, who was not that tall. And another interesting thing, I arrived in the middle of the night, and my Uncle Gilbert, may his soul rest in peace, who was an engineer at Ghana Airways, they opened the door of the airplane of the plane, and he just embraced me like that. Then we went straight to Winneba.
Yeah, the sports college.
When I woke up, I was in a bungalow where the coach was staying.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So I woke up and I said, why am I here? Where are the players? They said, no, we don't want you to go there. They were thinking I'm Obroni, mosquitoes and this and that. And I said, sorry, I want to be where the players are.
Great.
The only thing I want you to do, take that big bed and take it
Put
to
it in the camp for me.
Yeah. So, and when I was coming, all the players started clapping.
Wow.
And Ali Ibrahim, Richard Now, Abladikuma, who stayed with me, said, Tony will never stay in the bungalow. He will come and stay with us. Yeah. And this is how everything started.
Wow.
From Winneba, we're driving to Kumasi, we passed in Koko, and we're chopping fufu on the way. And in the bus, for me, it was something different, because when we were going to the matches or driving to a different city, everybody is focused. But in Ghana, we sing. You see, we pray. Muslims, Christians,
sure. Come together.
The Jama, and it was. And I said, hey, if I do this in Germany, they would think. But it was fantastic. It was a great feeling. Anthony Baffoe was there, whom I knew from Germany. Ali Ibrahim, they embraced me very well. And one of the key persons, Abdi was not there when we played against Benin. Yeah. Abdi, I met him only in Portugal, and when we prepared for the AFCON. But we had I think, for me, the best team manager. This was Alhaji Mekano, great man. Wasa. Yeah.
Later Alhaji Mekano.
Yeah, may so rest in peace. Great man. Yeah. This is how my career in the national team started. And not to forget, I was the first to be born abroad to play for Ghana.
Wow.
And this for me is a great privilege.
There's this perception that during your days, there were factions in the Black Stars. Do you buy that idea? Because you were part of the team.
For me, I'm a Fanti man, okay? But I'm Ghanaian.
From where? Fanti from where?
Cape Coast, Sekendi Takrady.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
True Fanti, okay.
So, I didn't grow up in Ghana. My mom never told me gas are like this, airways are like this, or I didn't even have any clue about that because I was new, and I didn't care.
There was, they didn't see it, they didn't notice it.
You know, so fractions are everywhere, groups are everywhere, like I told you. But at the end of the day, what matters is on the pitch.
Okay.
And obviously, we did well because we went straight to the finals.
To the final, yeah.
You know, especially when we beat Nigeria, who was the better team all in all. But our fighting spirit and the guys we had in the team, you know, led by the great maestro, you know, Abedi Pele. And yeah, so fractions, you have to live with that, you know. Some people still talk about it today. For me, it's 28 years or more.
Yeah, should be more.
Almost,
more,
yeah. I've moved on.
Wow.
With good memories.
Good memories.
Yeah.
Good memories. So, you know, how many matches did you play for? How many
I think all in all, I played like 20 caps. Yeah.
And which was your best game?
Best game? They were... I can't tell you, you know, I let other people judge. Every game I played for the Black Stars and I was standing down there and I could listen to the national anthem was something special for me. I believe that every Black Star player must earn the shirt. He must earn the shirt. Even now, when you come to the Black Stars, you must earn the shirt. It's something special to stand down there and look up and listen to the national anthem. This is pride, you know, and never regretted it. Fantastic memories, you know.
I still remember that your debut with the Black Stars against Benin in Kumasi. After the game, or when, I think after the game, you went for the Ghana flag and you went around the stadium. And then I was a student.
Point of correction.
Okay, correct me.
I think 5 minutes
to the end.
To the end.
When we were substituted.
Walker Caesar said, I want to substitute you.
Okay.
And I said, why? And he said, no, I want you to enjoy the crowd. And you see, there was a man standing with the flag. When I came out, I just took the flag. You know, I was so excited. And the beautiful thing is people like Stephen Appiah, Sule, Michael Ayson, Lai, Kingston Dems, whenever they see me, when I used to come close to the national team, you know, when I started with all these PFAG activities, they would said, Anthony Baffoe, remember you with the flag, the way you went round. So it left a mark. And when I travel, you know, a lot of people, you see, there were bigger players than me. There will always be bigger players than me. But I think one thing people give me is respect. And that touches me. And then they mention, yeah, I remember you with the flag. Of course, some also mentioned the penalty I missed, and which is part of life. It's
part of life. It's part of the game.
Part of the game, you know. And people even ask me, "Did you want to stop playing?" And then I asked them, "Did Maradona stop playing when he missed? Did Didier Drogba stop playing when he missed? Did Samuel Eto'o stop playing? Lothar Matthäus
continue to play."
No. So it's part of life.
Yeah. It's not only your colleagues that respect you. I think Ghanaians generally respect you.
I'm real. You see, I always like when Asamoah Gyan, he comes to me and he tells me, Mr. Tony, you know why I like you? I respect you. You're not fake. You say it as it is.
Yeah,
and
that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's why I always tell people, when you're on your way up and you are in a profession, of course you must listen to advice. This is very, very important. You must be a very good listener. You know, I don't judge people. If somebody comes to me and wants to say something about Igbo, but tell them, wait, I'll call the number. I said, the Igbo is on the line, you can talk.
That's right.
You see, you cannot come to me and do konkonsa, gossip. I have no time for this.
Real.
You see, so maybe this is also the German in me.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, I don't entertain things like that, but I love it when I see young people with quality. And when you're a leader, there's a difference between a leader and a boss. A leader carries other people along and makes them also great. A boss is I am.
Viewers, we are still with Tony Baffoe here, and we want to talk about, we'll continue talking about his experiences with the Black Stars. Somebody who rose to become the captain of the Black Stars. It was no mean achievement. So he has a lot to share with Ghanaians, especially the current generation, who missed those glorious moments. So Tony, I want to find out from you, this is a question that keeps coming up, as to why that golden generation of yours couldn't qualify to the World Cup.
First, I want to emphasize that the captain was Abidi Pele.
Yeah, you came in when he missed the final.
Exactly.
To act.
Yeah, just to
correct.
emphasize
that. The record street, correct, you are right. Yeah.
Which later on also caused a bit of wahala.
Yeah. No Ghana. Yes, I understand you. I agree with you.
But no problem. Well, first of all, you must not forget that today there are 5 teams which qualify
to the World Cup.
To the World Cup, you know. Sometimes teams like Ghana and Nigeria had to battle to see who's going to the World Cup, you know. And now even in 2026 we will have 48 teams.
We're going to increase it again.
You understand?
More slots.
So I believe that if you go down or you advance the time, it would have been a bit easier for us. But you know, we sacrificed for the Stephen Appiahs, the Muntaris, the Asians, the Ericados, and the rest. You understand? So it's a bit sad that also players like Abidi Pele or Anthony Yeboah never played at the World Cup. In Liberia, you had it with George Weah, for instance. So I don't think we had all the capabilities to go through, but I would say if we, out of 54 nations, we only had, at that time, I think 3 slots, right?
Yeah.
2 or 3 slots.
It was 3.
Yeah, so...
so that was the main reason why?
Yes.
Not that you were not competent, you were not capable?
No, capable we were. Definitely. If you think about how we lost against Algeria.
I remember that Clemson.
For the 1994 World Cup in the US. You know, I will never forget when we got there, suddenly there was a wedding going on. You know, it was very loud. They took us to Clemson where it was cold, it was raining. And then also the unfortunate incident with the goalkeeper Damba.
Yeah.
You know, so sometimes the puzzle must fit, but there were certain details missing to go through. But once again, if the rules would have been like today, surely
would have made it.
We would have gone through. But I'm happy that Ghana qualified in 2006. I happened to be part of the delegation, and it was another great experience.
Why did you choose Ghana over Germany?
Don't forget that, again, the rules were totally different. If I would have played once for any junior national team, I could have never played for Ghana. When my father was about to pass, you know, he had cancer. I was 15. He asked me, will you play for Ghana? Because I know you're going to make it. And I said, Daddy, yes, I'll play for Ghana. When I was 17, I think 16 or 17, Bertie Fox was the youth national team coach. He came and he said, You see, we used to play in regional selections. Sometimes you could have like BA and Ashanti combined, Central and Western region combined. And we had like 16 different regions in Germany. So we all come together in a big technical center which had like 6 to 8 pitches. And this is how we would play. And this is how they recruit the youth national team. This will also be a good idea to implement in Ghana.
Yeah. Transparency.
Yes. And for me, it's like we even have more competitive matches. Regions can play against regions. And if school football is organized as well, talents are there enough.
Always get the best.
So back to why I didn't play for Germany. And Brady Fox told me that I'd love you to come and play for the youth national team. And then I said, well, if you can show me one black person with whom I can identify myself. And at that time, there was no black playing for Germany. And then he looked at me and said, "You are very intelligent."
That ended the matter.
Today is different.
Yeah.
You had the Gerald Asamoah
has brought
Jerome Boateng, Agogos, and Aogo. Yeah. And many other players who are now part of the national team. Sane, Leroy Sane, and I could go on with the list.
Yeah. Do you think, now let's come to the current Blasters, and that with the arrival of Milo, who was in charge of the team and in South Africa in 2010, and the 2010 World Cup, and nearly took us to the semi-finals. What do you see his chances are in his second term?
Chances, it's relative. I cannot tell you now how his chances are. What I can tell you is that we have talented players. And I told you before that it's important that we make the players know that you must earn the shirt to play for the Black Stars. This is very, very important. It is our national team. So to wear this is very important. So it depends on, Milo is a Serb. They are known for discipline. In combination with Otoado and Maxwell Conedo, who has been there, I expect them to do the job. Important is discipline on the pitch and outside the pitch, and also to create a team spirit. You see, a team spirit, you cannot win a World Cup with 11 Messis. So everybody needs to know his role on the pitch and off the pitch. This is very important. And I also expect Otto, whom I know since, since his age of, since he was very, very young. And
was also a member of the 2006 World Cup.
Yes, and I think Maxwell has been there before. So he will also think about things he might not have done so well to do it differently. So he had time to reflect. So for me, I'm throwing my support behind them because I want Ghana to qualify to the World Cup. This is very, very important. The next 2 matches against Zimbabwe, we must see a difference. So
I side with you. I think Milovan Rajivat proved that he was a firm personality. He was a disciplinarian, and he was honest when it came to player selection in his first tenure. And I am hoping that he is going to do the same thing. But there's a school of thought that says that the crop of players that he met in his first term are not the same materials is meeting this time. Do you share that view?
Of course, they're not the same crop of players, but it depends on you what you make out of it. Yeah. Football is not only about individuals. It's about which tactics you're going to use, which pattern, how you prepare the team for the opponent which is coming. This is very important. Discipline can move mountains. You see, team spirit can move mountains. In 2014, the German national team played without Marco Reus. At that time, he was the best player in the league. What happened in 2014?
They won the World Cup.
Yeah. So for me, this is Rajovac and his assistants. This is their job. You select the players, so you should have an idea how you're going to play. And you must study the opponent as well. There will always be a different generation of players. You cannot compare this generation with the Appiahs, the Montaris, and the Asian, the John Mensahs, etc. No,
you can't.
They are also national team players.
Yeah.
Are you telling me that Kudus has no talent?
Yes.
Thomas Partey has no talent? Kamadin has no talent?
Yes, you have some talent.
Dede Ayew has experience.
Yeah.
Jordan Ayew has experience. Gideon Mensah is there. You know. So it depends on what we make out of it, how well we are organized. This is what I look at. I love organization and discipline.
Who was your best player during your era?
There are a few, but I adore Abedi Pele.
The maestro.
I adore him, and for me, he was a world-class player. I also love the way Anthony Baffoe performed in the Bundesliga, also, of course, in Leeds, because I was there, I saw it. Tremendous goal scorer, very skillful, you know, the way he could jump, very flexible. But Abedi, for me, you know, he was my roommate as well. For me, he was top. But also the Stephen Appiah generation, you know, I spent a lot of time with them. Ese Montari, you know, you can mention a lot of names, but for me, Abedi Pele, yeah, I loved him as a player. Yeah.
Okay. Were you expecting the captain's role during the Senegal '92 final when you were asked to?
No, I was not expecting.
Yeah.
I was not expecting the captain's role
because there were other, in quotes, if I may put it, other older or senior players.
Absolutely.
In the team before you came.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, how did they take it, or how did you also take it?
Well, Otto Pfister said I'm going to be the captain for the team.
The match.
And this is what I took the mantle on me and captained the team.
I hope it did not create any friction in camp.
Are you talking about 28 years back and saying something you don't know, or I only heard the aftermath?
Okay.
You understand? But for me, it's 28 years ago. I'm not going to talk about captainship. I would have loved to win the cup, to tell my kids I won the AFCON. But you know, you see, I went to Metz after 3 months. They gave me the captainship, and in certain countries, it's about character and charisma. This is how they decide. But you know, for me, once again, to go into details about captainship 28 years later is not part of my notebook.
You've talked about your experience at CAF. You talked about where do you go from here?
I told you that we are reprofessionalizing the PFAG.
Yeah.
We're coming out with things like a newsletter. You have to give me the route. Jangbeshi. It's like Caesar cake.
Yeah, Caesar cake. Yeah.
Yeah, this is how we're going to call the newsletter. We're coming out with PFAG TV. We will also do our awards. Players vote for players.
Wow.
And you know, I've been speaking with President Kurt Okrako also about standard contracts for the players. You know, a while ago, we also paid the insurance for 2 years for the team. So it's important that all these things are in the standard contract. Important is also life after football. You see, you must prepare whilst you're playing. Today, there's so many things you can do online. You know, players have time to go on Instagram. They have time to go on Twitter. They have time to go on Facebook. So you should also have time to study online and to prepare your life after football whilst you are playing. And we are educating the players more and more in regards to the contracts. You know, some clubs before saw us as threats, but it is not like that. Now clubs also contact us when a player is misbehaving. Yeah. And this is also very important. That means we are not always pro-player. If you have done something wrong, we must tell you that you have done something wrong. But it's important that every player has a contract copy, you see. And you see, part of the organization are people like Kwame Ayu, Sami Kufo, Ibrahim Tanko, Solomon Thorsen, and Abedi is also part, Mutari Tego. So for us, the emphasis is on the current players to defend their interests, you know, and helping the former players also with life after football. Even Abu Imoro, you know that he was a drug addict. We managed to take him to Pantang for almost 8 months. He's now out, still not 100%, but he's home with his sister. And these are things where we are contributing to.
That's great.
You see, and we did special donations. We collected special donations apart from the likes of Despite, Dr. Fore, Chumbrema, and Sami Kufo, Marcel Desailly, Abedi Pele. They all contributed, you know, but we didn't speak about it because we wanted him to go through the rehab. And we helped people like Ajumandia, Joe Odoy, to be okay, you know. So we will continue. We'll continue educating the players because they are stakeholders as well.
Yeah. When do you intend introducing this standard contracts?
No, we are already in
talks with the FA.
Talks with the FA. We have sent them also a sample, so they are also working on it, and hopefully we can implement it. That would be great. President Kurt Okrako and also Prosper Harrison, they are very pro in regards to the standard contract. Also Galka with Kojo Fiano. We had a meeting with them as well. Okay. And yeah, hopefully very soon it will happen.
Thank you. The PFAG is doing something great for our players, and I must say this issue came up with Metro and Graphic Sports. We had a forum.
Yes.
Last week.
Yusuf Chipsa
raised the issue and emphasized on the need for the FA to introduce it. That will solve all these problems, confusion that comes out of player contracts.
We win a lot of cases for the players abroad, you know, and the players with the player status committee at FIFA and Nicolas Opoku, Benjamin Achampong.
African,
you know, the players must understand that the union is for them. They don't need to pay any lawyer. We help them to defend their interests. So it is for them. We have a beautiful office inside the Accra Sports Stadium, and it is for the players. That's why it's called Professional Football Association of Ghana.
So every player, both amateur and professional, they are all
professional mainly.
Professional. Okay.
Yeah, locally and internationally. But when a player has an issue, we always try to help him, even if he's playing as an amateur.
Okay. I asked that question because professional means Division 1 players and Division 2 players might not be part, and coach players.
Professional means if you earn your living from football, you see, and you have a contract, but that doesn't mean we will not help a player who has an issue. Coach players, they are minors. They need their parents to step in for them. You see,
I get it. Do you have any ambition to become the FA president one day, especially now that PFAG has been accepted as a member of the Ghana Football Association?
But that has nothing to do with it. We're still more or less an independent body. You understand? Our strength are the players, you see. And for me, for now, I don't have any ambitions to be an FA president. People asked me that already during President Kwesi's time. And for now, I'm very happy with what I'm doing. My life is fulfilled. I just finished 4 years at the highest level, to serve at the highest level of African football. So I'm good. I told the FA I'm there when they need me to support. And yeah, this is very, very, very important. But there's one thing I wanted to chip in.
Okay.
I knew that question will come.
Surely come.
It's normal. You wouldn't be a journalist if you would have not asked this question. But I think it's also very important to refurbish our sports centers. I must tell you honestly, I've had a very deep discussion with the Honourable Minister Mustafa, and he showed me a plan about Winneba, about Kaneshi, and about Pram. And I hope we can implement this, because Black Stars also, we need the base. If I give you the example of England, St. George's, England didn't used to win anything when it comes to youth championship.
Yeah.
They started winning the famous tournament in Toulon, and then they won the World Cups, the Youth World Cups.
Yeah.
And Europe Cup of Nations, they went to the finals. So I'm sure also the FA, they are working on it, but it's very, very important. You see, once you have a Black Star block and even a Black Queens block, if you have the young players passing, they say, one day,
I want to get here.
I want to be there. So having a state-of-the-art technical center is very, very important. Even the regions need things like that also. One pitch is okay, you know, and the pitches also.
The pitches also.
We have one person who's doing all the pitches. This can never work. So we need more agronomists to train them. FIFA has special programs for these things, you know. For me, one person cannot do it.
I like the way you mentioned the infrastructure development. It's very, very, very
key. Yeah.
And I remember I raised that issue also at the forum last week. And I didn't understand why we have youth resource centers that are left to rot in the bush, which if they are able to be completed, they will develop talent.
I think that's why I was saying I had a very good discussion with the minister.
The minister, okay.
And also with President Kurt. We have started playing football again. You know, we had a bit of problems during the pandemic, didn't start. It's important they're rebranding everything. Once our league gets more sponsorship, but vital is to go very far at the African Cup and to qualify to the World Cup. You see, this will attract also more sponsors.
Yeah.
You see, so this is where we're all working hand in hand, you know, to do this. And I'm very happy that people like Sami Kufo and the Black Star Management Committee, he has seen it all. And let's put our hands, our minds, and our wisdom together to take it to the next level.
Okay. With your experience, some local clubs will want you to come and help. Have you been contacted by any of them to come?
Oh, I've never been contacted. No.
Administrative setup.
Back in the days, I was, Mospaka from Medeama. He's a good friend. I get along with him. He wanted me to help him, but I didn't really have that time. But if any club helps me, asks me to support him in terms of restructure, administration, or something like that, why not? But I always have to be careful because I am the General Secretary and the founder of the Players Union. Shouldn't be any conflict.
You can't play a full-time role.
Exactly. And like I told you also, I don't want no fixed position. But if I'm helping a club, I'm helping Ghana, you see. Yeah. So, yeah.
Already. What can you say about the current FA?
In regards to?
With regards to transforming the
well,
game.
they are working. I think it's now 2 years, right?
That's second.
And the next 2 years are going to also be very, very important. Definitely, when you come to the FA, you never keep the same team. You make some changes which are also unpopular changes, which is normal as a leader. But generally, let's see what will come in the next 2 years. But important with that is that we qualify to the World Cup.
Okay. You mentioned earlier on, you mentioned Mr. Kwesi Nyantakyi has been influential in you joining CAF. That is playing a role to ensure.
He approached me because he was sent by the president Armah
to come in.
by then. But I believe, I also believe that if he knew me.
Yeah.
How
he knew what you could do.
Yes, exactly. So.
How would you? I just want to come to the point that how would you describe him?
I would describe him as very eloquent, as someone who likes to bring good people together, and very intelligent man, very well read. And the last point I was just saying, we'll just say that it's very sad how it ended.
Do you think that, though it's the wish of most Ghanaians, as you rightly said a while ago, that it's very important that we qualify to the World Cup in Qatar next year, as well as next year's AFCON, and go and do well? Do you think in reality, we have what it takes to make it happen?
Yes. I'm telling you again, it's not about the individuals. It's a team effort. This is what we have to understand. It's a team effort. Of course, government, Ghana Football Association, coach, his technical team, the playing body, we the former players also, to go with a positive spirit. The Honorable Minister contacted me to bring different generations together. And we had that meeting at the Kempinski Hotel. And I think it was a very good initiative.
So you organized that thing?
Yes, I helped him.
You are behind
Yeah, I helped him to contact.
That was a great idea.
Yes. And we had the meeting before and he said he wanted to do that. And I told him I will organize all the players. It's not a big deal. So this is what we did, from Reverend Osei Kofi, Mfum, Ibrahim Sunday, Willie Krutze, and many others who joined. So, and he also asked for our blessings. And I think this is very important that Mother Ghana does well, and we will make it.
Last but one question. Did you meet the new CAF president, Matepe? Did you meet him? Did you encounter him?
Yes.
What's your impression about him?
I know President Motsepe already before, when he was with Masandawa, Sundowns.
Okay.
And he has always been very open to me. And you see, he's a man who doesn't need anything. And he comes to CAF, he doesn't take any salary.
Wow.
He pays his hotels on his own. He doesn't take no car. He doesn't need any flight ticket. He has his own jet. So, and he has also given full confidence to the General Secretary, Mr. Veron. So this is his style. And of course he deals with the likes of Infantino, etc. So they're working. So we want African football to go to the next level. Also women's football, which is very, very important. So let's see what will come out of it. They're working very hard behind the scenes, and inshallah it shall turn out well.
What's your final word for Ghanaians?
My final word for Ghanaians is to believe in the Black Stars, to give them your blessings. We need it. There's a new coach with Milovan Rajovac, with Otto Addo and Maxwell Konedu, who are their assistants. I'm encouraging all of you to pray for the Black Stars. And the former players, let's all go with a positive spirit to be with them. My words to Charles Okona are also that you were one of the rare players who played for the national team, captained the national team, and also coached the national team. Same like Kwesi Appiah. So you have to move on and prepare for your other challenges. But Dede Ayew and all the Black Star players, I wish you the best of luck, and I'll be in Cape Coast.